Alright, so I haven't made an update in a little while. I've just been way too busy doing other things, but I have had time to do a couple little things here and in between, and I just thought it'd be better to show them all at once what I've done over a little bit of time. Um, I actually came out to working this early today because on the way home last night, my interior light, which is funny because I really don't even need that. I mean, it's nice to have sometimes, but I pretty much don't need it. Popped on halfway on the way home, and I realized it. And normally, the way that works, I don't know how all the cars work, but this is the light switch for the Jeep right here. I don't want to mess with it right now because I'd rather didn't unnecessarily pop back on, because once that popped on, I hadn't had it on and I couldn't get it to shut back off. I had to disconnect the battery last night and let it sit, and came back out here and it did come back on, but I just started messing with things and it went back out. So usually turning this I believe all the way to the left would turn on that light, and then turning it all the way back to the right would turn it back off, just as a way to turn the light on. And then pulling it out turns on the signal markers and the headlights. But yeah, I couldn't get it to shut the doors, because that also triggers it. Just opening the door will do that. But I got it to turn back off, so I hope for now it'll be okay. But that's just a little thing. The only things I really did were I went and I took off my license plate, the plastic mold that actually sticks to the body here. I went and I painted I went on a whole little painting spree I painted this, and this came out looking really, really nice. I really like the way this came out. It's the same texture feel I used on the mirrors, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to try to get more of this stuff, and I'm going to do the bumpers, the fender flares, and the bumper extensions. And I mean, like this, with this, and on the mirrors, I think it looked really smooth, really nice. There's a nice shade of black. I like it. It's not too dark, it's not too light, and it's got this nice textured feel. The only problem with it all is like paper towels will kind of get stuck on there, and you gotta really work to get them off. But other than that, this had been, since I bought this, I remember I took this off when I first got it because I couldn't get my license plate on the right way because this was cracked. And what I did was I took that pour patch, the PR patch that I bought for the inside for the floor, and just sealed it. It kind of missed a little spot right here, but other than that, this used to be a much more wider out, and this just looks much better. It's darker, it's better, and as soon as I get the fender flares and these, just imagine this grayed out as this. It's gonna look good. It's gonna look really good. And the other little thing I went on, I took every little visible rusty screw I could find. These were rusty. These are rusty. Every little screw. It's just a little cosmetic thing I want to do, but it just looks a little bit better. Every screw here, and I went around, especially these on the side here on the windshield hinge were really rusty. I took them off, all of these, and I painted them all black. I had some rust to black primer converter that worked very well. I gave them a little sand, painted them black, and it's just a little thing, but now when you walk by, you don't see, like before, this was just grayed out, rusty, brown, and it just did not look good. So now it looks a little bit better. Just not a big thing, but just a little thing I did on both sides. Like I said, all the screws on the back there. And this one too. This one was probably the worst. So just a little thing, but it looks better now. Now the main reason I decided to make this is what I want to do, because the license plate came out so good. I wanted to do the bumper extensions, where I thought would be a little easy thing. When I do the inside for bedlining, decide, you know what, I'm going to take off the bumpers too, and I'm going to practice on these, because I want to bedline my bumpers, the metal part. I really want to get rid of this crap. This is just backtracking everything that had previously happened to. I don't know who would do this again. I got to just stress that a little bit more. That what were you thinking? Like I used to have it like up here. You can still sort of see it where it's kind of like they didn't use tape at all. It's just drives me nuts. But I also really want to paint these, because these, you see it all the time where the fender flares on these are grayed out. It's funny that on the YJs they're not as grayed out. Often on YJs I don't see them grayed out like they are on TJs. I think that's probably because they made it a cheaper material and wanted you to actually buy aftermarkets. But I'm gonna paint these. Like I said, the texture feel is gonna look really good. The same as I got on the mirrors here. It's all gonna match as long as I can find the same paint again. Yeah, I think those would look really, really nice. Especially painted just all the same color, not grayed out anymore, or really pop with the yellow. It'll look good. And I decided I want to do the extensions, this too. The extension all grayed out. I'm going to bedline this. It's going to be dark black, And I was like, well, let's do the extensions too. Of course, like with anything, little did I know the extensions were going to become a huge problem. What holds the extensions in are just a couple little screws that are in there pretty good, but I started to, so you can kind of see there if you look really closely, it was starting to chew away at the groove for the Torx bit there. And I'm not exactly sure how to deal with that when things like that start happening. That actually hasn't happened before now. But I was doing okay to get that off. And then inside, what I can show you is this one is kind of like stripped right now, like I have the problem with my seat brackets, which has become one of the most annoying things I could possibly imagine to happen. I was really careful with this too. I was trying to be real gentle. But all I wanted to do was take the bumpers off just to be able that I could take them off, so when the next day came I could paint all 4 of them. Just the extensions too, not the full bumper, just the extensions, which would be really easy. That paint really goes well with this kind of plastic, which I'm sure all the same kind of plastic on here is roughly the same. Now, I got this one off, but it's only a little victory because if you look at this, yeah, that's not supposed to be open like that. This is what I have. This is the problem with the other stripped one here, is I just don't understand why they chose this design, because this can just happen. If they had chose a different design where this kind of just screwed into the plastic, they made a good groove, I think that would have been better, because this is terrible. I mean, I got the first 2 off and this kind of like stripped on itself, and I pulled this out, but you know, now it's like, man, you know, and I don't even need the bumper extensions. They're mostly cosmetic. I mean, if I was doing really heavy stuff where mud was getting kicked up in here, I'd want them back on, and I do want them back on. I like the way they look. Not that it looks bad without them, but I do want it back on. Not that I'm just saying, you know, right now I don't need to rush to get it back on, because it's not like getting the 3rd wheel on or anything. But you know what I mean? Why would they do this? I hate this. I've come to hate designs like this, because they can easily strip out, and then you've got a real issue on your hands where it's not the easiest thing to get this back out. And then I don't even know what I'm going to do if I do get this out, and then I'm not even sure. I might just have to leave the bottom one off. Might just have to stick something in there to hold it there, maybe. I don't know. But so that's kind of my project for this morning, and hopefully later in the week to work on these extensions and work on the there we go, getting that out of there. Yeah, that great. Maybe I can actually glue that back on. It's probably not worth it, but maybe. And then I got to get this out of here. I got to hold a screw, and it's not easy to get underneath here and do that at the same time. And then I got to get these off and that off, and just, you know, between the light and this going on, and just it's just a bunch of stuff. But you know, I'll get through it. I'll figure it out. And once I'm done, it's the thing about it is even though this is kind of a struggle and a pain, the work I'd put in to do it, the way I can picture it coming out, is well worth the fight. So I'm going to keep fighting that fight, and hopefully things turn out my way. Oh, and I almost forgot to show you some of the biggest things I did. Just goes to show you I'm not a morning person, but yeah, I don't have any more holes in my floor panel anymore. It's kind of nice, really. I've gotten used to it. I was thinking I hadn't shown that, and last time you'd seen it, there had just been tape on this, but no, not anymore. This is that port patch, really good stuff. I recommended it before, but yeah, it's really good stuff. Like, if you got anything like this you got to do, this is the stuff. I coated this both of these a second time. I let them dry and do it a second time. I patched a hole in the YJ we have, and I went underneath, especially on this one, was really easy with a port patch, and just really lathered it on really evenly. And once it hardens, I'll get under there in a second to show you, but it's so nice. This is, I mean, I've hit this with a hammer, and this is pretty decent sheet metal I picked out here. It was bendable, but not, you know, now that it's here, it's good. But yeah, this doesn't move. This is really in there really well. It's nice to not have any more. I mean, I don't even think of these as packages. It's really nice to have no more holes. I mean, I don't have that problem anymore. So, and I also didn't show the other big thing I did. I went and bought a quart of POR 15, a big quart, and check that out. Yep, that's right. All of that. Look at that. Remember when that was like crappy rust yellow? This was really rusty. That's the whole thing. I'm getting the whole skid pan here and everything, all up to here. I just started slow first. I didn't get too far underneath, but I did get the first part turned. Just look at this. This is so nice. I didn't even prep half. This is why it didn't come out so well. But I'm going to do one solid coat on the whole thing, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit it with 2 coats. And it's going to come out really good. As for the hole patch underneath, you see me under here before with the hole here, and I put that metal piece down. I let that harden there, and then I took some PUR patch stuff, and I actually went around along the whole thing here, the whole floor panel, and especially I put some here. And this is tough stuff. This is I mean, you would need like drill to get through this. This is tough stuff. So that poor patch stuff, really, really good. I still have quite a bit of it left. For the price I paid, it's amazing. I wouldn't use, I mean, it's the first thing I used. I haven't used anything else, but I wouldn't use anything else. This is what I would use if I was ever going to do any more patches. But yeah, you can see the PR15 really well over here. This is so nice, so smooth. You just kind of, now you can just look right here. Before there was, especially right there with that crappy patches. I still don't know if I'm just going to leave that there or not, but the whole thing, I stopped up to there just because I thought it would be a good place to stop, and I hadn't prepped everything else. And for the most part, you don't even need to prep it doing the whole metal ready and the whole marine clean, but just sanding it off seemed to be pretty good, just dusting it off so it would catch. As for needing more of the poor stuff though, yeah, I'm thinking more and more that this is just I'm gonna have to sand away at this and just make a hole here and then just patch it like I did these, because I mean, I don't want to do that, but this isn't good here. Obviously, you know, a full-on crack in the floor panel. And there's this little one here too, but this is nothing really. I could probably just seal that up real nice with a little piece of metal there too. But the reason I'm so firm or confident that this will work out is just because these both came out so good. This is sealed down here now. This is no problem. Also underneath there, I did the same thing like I showed you under here. This is just so good here. And yeah, those came out really nice, so I'm very confident about that now, and that makes me feel a lot better about the holes in my floor panel. And then you go over here. Before I had just this up to here done, well, I went all the way through here onto the skid pan underneath here. This side even took a little bit better, and I also don't have that problem like I do on the other side here. I do have on the other side up here, I have a little crack through here. I'm not sure what to do with that yet, and under here I got, you know, this, but you know, it's to be expected. This isn't gonna, you know, this isn't magic. I don't think this is just gonna magically fix everything, but it'll preserve it and last much longer than it was going to. Especially like this is so nice and smooth right here. I don't mind that it's not smooth because obviously, you know, but it just went on so well. And just taking a glance underneath now, you don't see crappy rust. That just looks so much better. I mean, look at that. That just looks really nice. That looks nice. And I also went up along here, got as much of this as I could. Eventually I got to take off the tire, and I'll have to take off the plastic insert here and get underneath in there. I also did up and underneath here, and I did it on the other side too, where the rust was getting really bad. I targeted the main areas that I could easily reach for the first coat here. And yeah, I feel much better about that because a lot of stuff was getting kicked up into there. And that feels good. I'm going to keep getting more and more of the other stuff that's right in the way and the easiest stuff to get, and then I'll have to work my way into harder things and get creative. But yeah, other than that, I just want to show that off because I can't believe I completely forgot about those. And while I was thinking about that, I had gotten the other bumper extension off, which I got lucky with this one because I was almost going to have the same problem with the other one. But that's off now. I might be able to like pour patch them, but just look at the crap there. Like, that's why that happened. I mean, look at that. These have obviously never been taken off, never been cleaned. But that's good. I got these both off now. That's great. I can actually it really doesn't look too bad with both of them off. I mean, I like the extensions, but it doesn't look bad either. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and look into getting maybe the bumper off. I think these come off too, right? Yeah, they do. I think they have screws in the inner side there. You gotta take the whole bumper off first though. But yeah, I mean, these are off now, so I can take a look at these, but it's just good that I got it off, and I figured out my problem with the whole not being able to get the bit in there. It was actually a lot of crap, like gunk and dirt and shit, and I just cleaned it out, and the torque bit went in much better to turn. So yeah, things are going my way. I'm winning that war.